Some airplanes lose value because they're old. Others lose value because newer models arrive and make them look outdated. But sometimes, depreciation goes so far that buyers can end up getting an aircraft with serious performance for a fraction of what it once cost. And that's exactly what we're looking at today. These 6 airplanes have suffered major depreciation, but for the right buyer, that falling price can create some surprisingly good opportunities. Number 6. Piper Meridian. The Piper Meridian is one of those airplanes that can make you wonder how much aircraft you can actually get for the money. Designed as a pressurized single-engine turboprop, the Meridian offers a level of performance and sophistication that goes far beyond the typical piston aircraft. Depending on year, condition, avionics, and engine status, examples can sometimes be found around $300,000 to $500,000. Powered by a Pratt & Whitney PT6A42A, the Meridian can cruise around 260 knots, giving it serious cross-country capability. It also offers a pressurized cabin, retractable landing gear, and a comfortable interior for a relatively compact aircraft. So why has the value fallen? Part of the reason is simply competition. Newer turboprops offer more modern interiors, updated avionics, and improved systems. But depreciation doesn't erase what the Meridian can actually do. It's still fast. It's still pressurized. And the PT6 remains one of the most respected turboprop engine families in aviation. For a pilot who wants turboprop performance without spending several $1,000,000, an older Meridian can be a fascinating proposition. The market simply became more interested in newer alternatives. And that can be exactly what creates a bargain. Number 5. Sakata TBM700. The TBM700 was one of the aircraft that helped establish the modern high-performance single-engine turboprop category. When it arrived, its combination of speed, range, and efficiency was remarkable. Today, older examples can sometimes be found around $300,000 to $500,000, depending heavily on year, condition, avionics, and engine status. Powered by a Pratt & Whitney PT6A64, the TBM700 can cruise around 300 knots, making it dramatically faster than most conventional piston aircraft. For a single-engine turboprop, that's serious performance. The cabin is also pressurized and designed for comfortable high-altitude travel. So why doesn't the market value these aircraft like it once did? Because the TBM family continued evolving. Newer TBMs became faster, more refined, and significantly more advanced. That naturally pushed older generations downward in value. But that doesn't mean the TBM700 suddenly became a bad airplane. You're still getting a fast, pressurized turboprop with a proven engine and excellent cross-country capability. The biggest difference is that you're no longer paying new aircraft money for it. That's where the opportunity appears. A buyer who doesn't need the latest avionics or the newest cabin can potentially acquire extraordinary performance for a fraction of the price of a new turboprop. And that's exactly what makes the TBM700 so interesting. Number 4. Piper Jet Prop. The Piper Jet Prop takes an interesting approach to the bargain equation. Instead of starting life as a turboprop, these aircraft are conversions of the Piper PA-46 platform, replacing the original piston engine with a turboprop powerplant. Depending on the aircraft, conversion, avionics, and maintenance status, examples can sometimes fall around $250,000 to $400,000. The result is an aircraft with considerably more performance than the original piston-powered configuration. Many jet propies use a Pratt & Whitney PT6A34, giving the aircraft impressive climb and cruise performance. Depending on configuration and operating conditions, cruise speeds can reach around 250 knots. You also get a pressurized cabin, retractable landing gear, and a design intended for serious cross-country travel. So why doesn't everyone want one? Because conversions create an additional layer of complexity for buyers. You're purchasing a modified aircraft whose history, conversion quality, maintenance records, and support network all deserve careful attention. That can make some buyers nervous. There's also the fact that the market has become increasingly crowded with factory-built turboprops. But for someone who understands the aircraft and finds a properly maintained example, the value proposition can be difficult to ignore. You can get turboprop performance without entering the price range of many newer factory-built aircraft. That's a pretty powerful combination. And it helps explain why jet prop aircraft can be so interesting when depreciation has pushed their prices down. Number 3. Daher Sakata TBM850. The TBM850 takes everything that made the earlier TBM generation interesting and adds another level of performance. This is a serious high-speed turboprop. And yet, older examples can sometimes approach the $400,000 to $500,000 range depending on condition, equipment, engine time, and maintenance history. Powered by a Pratt & Whitney PT6A66D, the TBM850 can cruise around 320 knots. That's astonishing performance for a single-engine turboprop. The aircraft also features a pressurized cabin and sophisticated avionics, making it well-suited to long-distance private travel. So why has depreciation pushed some of these aircraft toward the upper end of the $500,000 range? Again, newer generations are a major factor. The TBM family kept improving, and buyers with large budgets naturally gravitated toward newer aircraft. That creates a difficult situation for older examples. They remain extremely capable, but they're competing against aircraft with newer interiors, avionics, and technology. For the buyer, however, that can create an opportunity. You don't necessarily need the newest TBM to experience extraordinary turboprop performance. An older 850 can still travel faster than many aircraft costing hundreds of thousands of dollars more. And if the maintenance history is strong, the depreciation can actually work in the buyer's favor. The aircraft loses value. Its fundamental performance doesn't disappear. And that's exactly what makes an older TBM 850 so tempting. Number 2. Beechcraft King Air C90. The King Air C90 is perhaps the most interesting bargain on this list because it gives you something none of the previous aircraft can. 2 engines, a pressurized cabin, and the unmistakable presence of a King Air. Older examples can sometimes be found around $300,000 to $500,000, depending heavily on condition, avionics, engine status, and maintenance history. Powered by 2 Pratt & Whitney PT6A21 engines, the C90 cruises around 270 knots and provides a surprisingly spacious cabin for its class. This is an aircraft that was built for serious transportation. It's capable of carrying several passengers, operating at high altitude and handling long-distance missions far beyond what most piston aircraft can comfortably manage. So why has depreciation been so aggressive? Because the aircraft is aging. And an older twin turboprop comes with a very different ownership equation. 2 engines mean 2 sets of maintenance requirements. The aircraft has more systems. The pressurization system adds complexity. And maintaining a King Air properly requires a serious budget. That's why the purchase price can be deceptive. A $400,000 to $500,000 King Air isn't necessarily a cheap aircraft. It's simply a very capable aircraft that has become cheap to acquire. For an owner who actually needs its capacity and mission capability, that distinction may be acceptable. And when you consider how much aircraft you're getting for the purchase price, it's easy to understand why well-maintained examples can look like extraordinary bargains. Number 1. Cessna Citation CJ1. And finally, we have the Cessna Citation CJ1. This is where depreciation becomes almost surreal. The CJ1 was a genuine business jet, designed to provide fast, comfortable transportation for corporate and private operators. Yet older examples can sometimes approach the $400,000 to $500,000 range depending on condition, maintenance status, avionics, and engine time. Powered by 2 Williams FJ44-1A engines, the CJ1 can cruise around 400 knots. That's a completely different level of performance from a conventional piston aircraft. You're getting a real jet, a pressurized cabin, high-altitude capability, and enough speed to dramatically reduce travel times. So how did something like this become available for a fraction of its original price? Age and operating economics. Newer business jets offer more modern interiors, better avionics, greater efficiency, and improved range. Meanwhile, an older jet still requires substantial maintenance, fuel inspections, and specialized support. That's why the aircraft can depreciate dramatically without becoming inexpensive to own. But for the right operator, that may not matter. If the mission requires a jet and the buyer can handle the operating costs, acquiring a CJ1 for around $500,000 can look almost unbelievable compared with the cost of buying new. The airplane hasn't lost its ability to fly fast. It hasn't lost its pressurization. It simply became old enough for the market to stop valuing it like a new one. And that's where the bargain appears. These 6 airplanes show just how brutal aircraft depreciation can become. But they also show why depreciation isn't always bad news. When the right aircraft loses value faster than its capabilities disappear, buyers can end up with an incredible amount of airplane for the money. The price may have fallen dramatically. The airplane's capabilities haven't. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, and tell me which of these 6 aircraft you'd actually consider buying at today's prices. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.